In today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 5 offensive tips to improve overnight in Madden NFL 25. Now, this is a series I started up recently, and I've really enjoyed the feedback that I've gotten, so I'm going to throw out an offensive series, and we're going to talk a little bit about the offense. Tip number 1, just like on the defensive side, establish a good depth chart. Now, we are still using the Seattle Seahawks in here, even though the Packers are probably a better offensive team. I want to show you the Seahawks. So here you have a guy like Russell Wilson with 86 speed, phenomenal passing accuracy, really a phenom coming into his second year. In my opinion, kind of the ugly child between Andrew Luck and RG3. Russell Wilson kind of got shadowed or glossed over, but everything he did last year, probably had one of the best overall rookie seasons this game's ever seen. Cannot wait to see what he can do in his second season. At running back, they have a really good running back in Marshawn Lynch with 90 speed, 88 strength, and 91 acceleration. But also, just like on the defensive portion of this video, don't forget to check out your Madden gems below. Robert Turbin and Christian Michael, phenomenal secondary backs to have. Very good, very explosive, both over 92 speed and with good acceleration, and I think they both can catch if I'm right. Remember, Robert Turbin can catch out of the backfield. Robert Turbin is more of a third down style back, and then Christian Michael can be used on an every down basis with his trucking / speed rating and spin move. This dude's an absolute great running back out of Texas A&M. Cannot wait to see what he can do on the professional level as a great complement to Marshawn Lynch. This is going to be an amazing season for the Seattle Seahawks, and you guys definitely want to get on board. So here I'm going to put Christian Michael as the backup running back so that when Marshawn Lynch gets tired, he goes into the game. But on third downs, I'm going to have Robert Turbin in there. I'm going to set it in my depth chart. The fullback position is sometimes important, sometimes it's not. But as always, if you are not using a fullback in your main package, go ahead and substitute with your second string so that you can put your best fullback here, who is 87 overall, in another aspect of your depth chart. Make sure to do that. Also, if you guys, some guys like to use the fullback package to get tight ends at running back. So if you like to do that, you can do that. So go ahead and substitute in Luke Wilson at the starting fullback. So if you ever want to put him at running back with that 88 speed, that 6'5" frame, it's a possibility now. And the same thing with McCoy, and then you could just have whoever in the third string. Wide receivers this season, on the outside, I like to have bigger receivers. That's why I like to go with Sidney Rice in this situation. And sometimes so far this season with the Seahawks, I've actually gone down and grabbed this Madden gem right here. Stephen Williams with 6'5" frame. The dude's a 6'5" guy. He's going to be great for user catching. Doesn't have the sound fundamentals down, but with that 93 jump, him and Phil Bates both have 93 jump. Going to be really a good mix-up to have in your roster, and definitely do not sleep on these guys. These guys are really good players, and you definitely want to be using these guys. So my roster for the Seattle Seahawks, I like to put Percy Harvin in the slot, and then I also like to go with Golden Tate as the fourth slot. And so far on the outside, I've kind of just used a lot of different guys, but Stephen Williams, for me, to be honest, guys, at 6'5" frame, really does. It separates him, and I think you guys need to check him out. Or you could always go with what I said earlier and put your boy Luke Wilson in there at 6'5", 88 speed. So always check out your roster to find those Madden gems from year to year that we every so often get to see. And then here, like I said, you want to put Michael Robinson in at that second string tight end for a package that you could possibly use. So be sure to just know your packages and know how to use your depth chart effectively for Madden NFL 25. And lastly, I wanted to go ahead and put Robert Turbin at the third down running back. So in third down situations, he comes into the game, and I've already got him there. So that's tip number 1, is maximizing your depth chart. It's going to be the tip number 1 for everything. Depth chart is before you even play the game, guys. You have to have your depth chart maximized. Tip number 2, come out in a base formation that allows you to get to multiple formations. So, and I say that to say this, a base formation is, like I said, a formation that you come out in to kind of get you going, to kind of give you a man zone read, as well as just a natty formation that you can throw at your opponent at any time. And in my opinion, this trio offset is one of the best base formations in the game. I like to come out in plays like halfback counter, or even plays like HB slip screen. But here today, we're going to show you the counter because Seattle is more of a running base team. And what it does is it gives us a man zone read, because a lot of guys base align. And so if you base align in this against man coverage, take a look at what happens. You see that these linebackers are now matched up with these amazing receivers here. So if we see something like this and we want to pass the football, we're going to go to our quick pass audible, and we're going to put Sidney Rice here on a quick slant, Harvin on a drag route. Excuse me, Harvin on a quick slant, Sidney Rice on a drag route, and we're going to put Williams here on an out route, and this is going to really allow us to quick pass this formation, and stuff like that is what you want to look for in a base formation. The ability to beat zone, man, and the blitz from one formation, as well as the ability to beat them if they're not playing a disciplined defense. So, for example, what happens if you want to run the ball out of this formation? Just go to your go to your run audible down, hit that inside zone, snap, go. It's one of the best runs in the game, in my opinion, and it can really get you guys moving forward quick. So obviously tip number 2, establish a good base formation. Tip number 3, do not waste your audibles. I see this all the time. People put money plays in their audibles or mini schemes or something they're not really going to be using on a down-to-down basis, something they just want to use to be cute with. Use your audible slots. Make sure you have a man beater in your audibles. Make sure you have a zone beating formation in your audibles. Make sure you have a blitz beating formation in your audibles. Make sure you have a 3-headed rushing attack in your audibles, and make sure you have that one formation that you can go to at any time where you feel like you can really just dominate your opponent, whether it be a mini scheme you have or like a full house pistol or something that can really show you how to dominate your opponent. And that's certainly a great tip into that. Tip number 4, motion snaps. Some of you guys play in connected careers mode, and I understand that your leagues don't have those, don't use that kind of stuff. But in my opinion, motion snaps are one of the most effective things that you can have as far as improving your offense, what to look for in an offense. I love motion snaps. They've become one of my favorite things to do and in these recent years. Now, one of the motion snaps I discussed on one of my videos earlier this season was a motion snap that allows you to beat almost every coverage in the game except for cover 2 standard, and with just one route. And it was phenomenal because just because of this motion snap. This route is something you would gloss over before you would, if you didn't dive deep, if you didn't try to motion snap it, if you didn't try to throw every route every which way you possibly could. And because I got in practice mode and I worked on it and I worked on it and I worked on it, I was able to use the motion snap now to beat man coverage, and I also later on found a way how to beat it against zone coverage, which it may be coming up in one of my e-books or my free offensive guides coming soon. But this route is one of the most phenomenal routes in the game right now. This little smoke route against man coverage, guys, I'm telling you, it's one of the best routes, but I would have never known about it if I hadn't been using motion snaps and trying out every route in my playbook. So that's another great tip from my head as far as how to improve overnight in offense. And the last tip, this is one of the most important tips, and I feel like it applies to tournament players, it applies to sim players, it applies to just random casual players. Have multiple reads on every formation and every play. When I say that, I mean, you have 5 routes that you could have on every play. But if you run the same, so look at this, I'm running the same thing. So if I run a streak and a streak to both sides of the field, they're going to break at the same time. They're going to come open at the same time. You want to have a dominant passing attack, have routes that break at different points. Something like this is a great example. So I have a swing pass to the right. So my swing pass, I look there, that's not open. I look to my drag, that's not open. I look to my zig, and at that point, if my zig was covered, then I could go back to the other side of the field and check the rest of the reads. Have multiple reads. Don't lock in on one route before the play is snapped. That smoke route, yeah, it's a great route, but there's certainly ways to stop it. So you have to be guarded against that. You have to realize that here, that's not open, this time the corner route came open, and because I went through my progression, I was able to read it and hit it. That's very important, guys. And then also, like I said, with the new audible system this year, I could go from single back snugs to pistol trips to shotgun split back to shotgun doubles on to shotgun wide trips, and then I could even get back into my base formation from this. And this is very important to be able to have, okay, this is what I read it like this, so I'm going to go back down into this and run this play. Have multiple reads, guys. Figure out in your head, okay, I've got 5 routes. I want them breaking at different points. I want to hit them at different points so that my offense, the routes don't run into each other, so that one defender can cover 2 receivers, stuff like that. Make sure when you're making your routes, don't be afraid to use hot routes, guys. Hot routes are essential. If you ever watch really good Madden players play, they're always hot routing. There's always adjustments being made pre-snap to everything they do. So make sure you use these tips, and I know you guys will improve in Madden NFL 25. Offense is very effective this year. Motion snaps and quick passes as well as running the ball. The bonus tip is just that, clock management. Run the football, guys. Even on second or first and 10, I'm telling you, on first and 10, if you run something like an inside zone or a read option or something simple like that, man, I'm telling you guys, you are definitely going to be able to improve your offense, improve your third down conversion percentage, because running the ball on first down is very effective. Why? Because it gives you the opportunity to show a defense something that most Madden defenses aren't used to seeing. Most people don't see running the ball hardcore. So if you begin running the ball, if you find a good run, see, like there, now I'm in second and 1 or third and 2. Now it's going to be an easy conversion. And it's stuff that I don't think a lot of players really pay attention to. But if you have a good run game, passing comes easily, guys, in Madden. Every year it does. If you have a good, solid run game, man, your potential could be open tenfold. So make sure you're working on your running game. Make sure you're trusting the run. Even if you don't have a run game, run the football, guys. Use the new combo moves. They're very effective, and I hope that this video helps you guys with that. I hope that video shed some light on that. Be sure to check out the description for some links and stuff like that. Also, hit that subscribe button if you like this or would like to see more content like this coming in the future. Lastly, guys, if you have any questions about offense or things that you need help with, schemes you would like broken down, go ahead and put them in the description, and I will or in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and I hope you guys can improve in Madden NFL 25, just like I know you guys did in Madden NFL 13. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.